Alright, Ismet, we have the oven all wired up. Gonna turn it on for you. We're gonna go through the warm-up cycle. Obviously hit the PID button to turn the, I'm sorry, first goes the fan. The PID, as in the heater, does not work unless the fan is on. So you hit the PID, it turns on the controller. You've got a timer on this side. Once the timer is counted down all the way from 60, your oven will automatically shut off. You can set it from anywhere from 100 minutes to 60 minutes to whatever the case may be. The burners is set at 385, obviously 69 degrees inside the oven right now. And I will check back in a few minutes with you once it's all warmed up. Just show you inside the oven. We got the rack in there right now. I'm going to be curing some low temperature parts, so I'm going to reset it to 300 degrees and check back with you. I'll let you know how long it took to actually start the oven up to get it up to temperature. So we'll check back with you in a few minutes. Alright, so we are up to 211 degrees and climbing steadily. It's been about 10 minutes, been 11 minutes because the timer's counted down to 48, so we're climbing up in temperature. Usually takes about 25 minutes, 30 minutes tops to reach temperature. Temperature being around 400 degrees for powder. I'm going to turn this one down because I'm curing a different product now, so it's going to be about 300 degrees. There's simple up and down controls on the PID controller, so it's once you get it set, and I've already set it, it's extremely easy to use. I'll include the instruction manual, which talks about how to set specific parameters for how often the contactors cycle. It's a contactor-driven oven instead of an SSR-driven oven, so it makes the contactors click on and off. On is heating, off is not heating, and once the oven reaches temperature, it'll cycle back and forth between on and off once every couple of minutes, and then eventually start going back down to within 15-20 seconds on off in order to maintain temperature. Once it's been running for about once it reaches temperature and it's been running at temperature for a while, the contactors cycle more frequently and will maintain the temperature. You can actually, as I said, it's in the owner's manual. It'll show you how to set it so that you can have wider parameters for your temperature or shorter parameters. Basically corresponds to the life of the contactors. The contactors will last longer if you're not cycling them as much, or they'll last shorter if you're cycling them more frequently. The more frequently the contactors are cycling, the more on temperature it will be. So I have not burned out the contactors yet. It's been a little less than a year since I've had the oven. So at some point they will need to be replaced. It's very, very common. The Auber instruments, you can see that the controls are made by, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, Auber Instruments. They are a very easy to contact company. I mean, they're cheap. It's amazing. You can buy all the controls that you see in front of you, the PID controls and the timer, for like, I don't know, 40, 50 bucks or something like that, if anything ever blows out on you. I've had an Auber Controls PID in use for over 3.5 years now, and it still hasn't gone bad on me. So they make a really nice quality product, and right in the owner's manual it shows you, as I said, all the ways that you can use it, and also gives you contact information for them. So if they ever need to contact them to get new parts or anything, it's 2 days shipping. I think they're down in Tennessee or something along the lines of that. So we're continuing to climb. As you can see, I'm going to start opening up the oven and put some parts in it, so it's going to climb slower at that point because I've opened the door and everything. Actually, while I'm here, I might as well. The inside of the oven, you got the two different heating ducts right here, and inside of those heating ducts there's 3 elements on each side. I'm not going to put my camera below where the air is coming out, but the air gets sucked up through the 2 circulation fans here, up through the top of the duct, where there's the bump out right here. There's the bump out, the air goes through there and then down the chute here and blows across the elements continuously. One point of advice I might make is that if you're going to be using it, make sure to let the elements cool before you turn off the fan. So when you're done with the oven, go ahead and turn off the PID, it'll turn off the heaters, and all you do is open up the door and keep the fan on for a while until it reaches 150 degrees, something along the lines of that. And you can then turn off the fan. But if you turn off the fan while the heaters are still on, you're gonna burn them out real quick. So always keep the fan on until it reaches normal room temperature, 150 degrees, something like that. And then you don't have to worry about them burning out. I've had really good luck with this oven. I've had no problems with it so far. It really has worked quite well for me, so I think it'll be perfect for you. I will check. Oh, all right, turn the thing back on. I'll check back once it's at operating temperature, and you can hear the contactors going on and off, and see that it's all working to perfection. And probably on Monday I will make a video of how to install the extension and all the things that are involved with that one. It's a very simple process, 15-20 minutes tops. I'm sure once you guys, we've only put it on 4 or 5 times now because we got the big oven. So I'm sure you guys can get, if you need to put it on and take it off and put it on and take it off, I'm sure you guys can get it down pretty quick. Yep, thanks. Alright, so the oven is finally reached temperature. It's been, I've had the door open 2 times now, and it's been a total of 15 minutes plus 10 minutes, so 25 minutes to reach 300 with opening the door 2 or 3 times now. The contactors are going on and off. I'll bring you around to the back so maybe you can hear that one. I don't know how familiar you are with this, so I'm giving you the idiot route, but maybe you're sitting there saying, oh, Jesus Christ, I already know what the fuck you're talking about, just shut up. But there's the contactor clicking on, I'm going to click off in a couple seconds. I'm including the disconnect, 100 amp disconnect. That cost me fucking $150, ridiculous. The 3 contactors are located in here. So I mean, you don't have to deal with the wiring on this side of it. You've got wiring going down to the bus or whatever you want to call it, the disconnect here, and the wiring goes in from there. So you're dealing with 3 legs. You got 3 hot legs because it's straight 3-phase. 3-phase goes to the burners. I'm using 208 here. As you can see, it's got 208 to damn it, focus. 208 to 350 volt. As you can see, it draws 76 amps at 208, which would be the minimum. So you got 3 hot legs, and then you've got 1 common and 1 earth ground. And that actually goes, I mean, it just draws off one of the legs for, God knows how many amps, probably, say, 2 amps, a quarter of an amp, something like that, for the controls and the fans, because those are normal single phase 200 volt, the motor here, and then the controls, which are on the other side that we were looking at before. So straight 3-phase to the burners, and single phase 208 volt to the controller into the fan. And it's a pretty simple system. It works pretty economically. It's got a little computer fan to cool off the contactors. It probably helps a lot with their longevity. I went around and I sealed all the seams with regular RTV on the outside, and then high temperature RTV on the inside. I mean, as you can see, pretty straightforward system. I'm going to end this video now, and eventually I'll shoot the one for installing the extension. I'll get it loaded up onto the pallet, and we'll go from there. Obviously, any questions that you have once you get into the shop, I'd be happy to answer for you. One thing of note is that after moving the door around a little bit, for some reason the latch here didn't line up, so I just grabbed the bottom section of the latch rather than grabbing both of them. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I mean, I'm sure you guys can figure it out, but you know, as I said, if there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer it. We'll catch you in the next video.